So the lead guitar, we were talking a lot about that when we were doing last week with the electric guitar. What are some techniques you can remember from last week when playing guitar?
It was like
Picking and strumming. That's two different ones. Now with lead guitar, if you're only playing one note, would you mostly be picking or would you be strumming? Picking, yes, good, picking one note. Strumming would go to the next. Let's get a volunteer. Go there.
Rhythm guitar plays the melody homophonic.
Yes, it plays the harmony, homophonic. We were talking about polyphonic was our other one, but unless that is a typo from Mr. S's case, did you mean that to be polyphonic or did you mean it to be homophonic?
Which one?
The rhythm guitar.
Rhythm, homophonic.
Homophonic. Okay. So polyphonic we know means multiple sounds at once. Homophonic we know means multiple sounds at once too. But can anyone tell me if they remember the difference between poly and homo?
Homo is the same.
Keep going. No, keep going.
Homo is two of the same.
What's your answer? I'll compare it.
It was going to be the same thing.
Oh, same thing? Well, okay. So polyphonic music, which is what we're listening to, that's when you hear multiple parts moving in different directions, doing different jobs. Homophonic would be the harmony all moving at the same time. So something homophonic would be like there was multiple parts happening in that, there was multiple notes, but it's all moving in one direction. When you're strumming the guitar, you are playing multiple notes, but they're all going in the same direction, so it's one part. Very good, thank you. We have a third vocabulary up there. Let's have a volunteer read that. Go again. Three.
Okay, bass guitar plays both rhythm and harmony.
Bass guitar. Monophonic means one. Now, the bass guitar is a rhythmic instrument as well as a harmonic instrument. So, when you hear the rhythm section, we put the bass in the rhythm section. We have it playing rhythmically, and also it's playing the bass note of the chord. The bass note is the low end of the chord. Now, when you are playing, you could play multiple notes on the bass guitar, but check it out. Say you have a group of pitches up in the high register, it would be like, sounds pretty nice, right? Sounds nice and even. Now if you play the same notes in the lower end, it doesn't sound as clear, it sounds a bit muddy. So a lot of times with the bass, you'll only be hearing one note played at a time. We have one more kind of at the bottom. Don't forget that one. Drum kit keeps the rhythm. Very good. Now, just so we can become accustomed to our new friend, the Beatles, let's combine the instrument with the member. So lead guitar, we have George Harrison. He's playing the lead guitar. So he's going to play the not only is he going to play melodies on the guitar, but he's going to play little decorative things happening in the background. Then for rhythm guitar, we have John Lennon. Now John Lennon's also arguably the lead vocalist, but we'll go into that. Pretty much all of them sing at some point or another. We have the drummer, Ringo Starr, and then on bass, we have Paul McCartney. Now who did we see Paul McCartney play with a couple of weeks ago? Maybe like a month ago.
Wasn't he with
Stevie Wonder, yes. So we remember Paul McCartney playing with Stevie Wonder. He was playing the bass on that. He plays bass with the Beatles. Now, we have one more vocabulary word on the top of that. Let me get the volunteer. Yes.
one lead singer accompanied by two other singers? Two vocalists sharing the lead line, singing two different pitches.
Very good. So we have some vocal harmony. We have a lead singer singing the main melody, and then we were talking about backup singers before now, weren't we? Can anyone tell me maybe the difference between having a backup singer and then having someone singing harmony with you? Just out of curiosity.
Two were like the lead and the backup singers sing like wap chicks.
Oh, they're doing the stuff in the background. So the backup vocalists, they're doing something different than the lead vocalist. Here with the Beatles, we essentially have two or maybe more lead vocalists going at the same time because they're singing the same words, the same line, but they're singing different pitches, and that's how you are singing in harmony. Let's go back to the recording of that now that you know some of that and see if you can point out. So we have one vocalist. In the back up. Then you have the second vocalist coming out. One, two, one. has that heavier textured vocal style. When we talk about texture, we talk about polyphonic and monophonic, that over again, over and over again. But there are some deeper parts of texture, and this stuff that we're even talking about right now, that is getting into that a lot. So I'm glad I'm hearing all of this from you. Let's go over our national standards. Singing along with others, a varied repertoire of music, or just vocal music in general. Instrumental music in general is number 2. We'll be evaluating music and music performances, which we kind of just did. Understanding music in relation to history and culture, that's the big one that we always do. Also, and this is all within your packet, complete shared reading about the Beatles, answer reading comprehension questions, the same routine that we've been doing. Do documentaries, performance videos, answer discussion questions, identify vocabulary as used in the music of the Beatles, which we're just doing. And you will get 90s to 100s on all those beautiful tests, because I know you guys are a smart group. Now, let's go to the shared reading. I believe that is the 4th page in your packet. And before we do that, let's introduce you to kind of how, to put in some context to how big the Beatles actually were at their time. We have some people